These events take place after the Forever Evil storyline, where the crime syndicate exposed Nightwing's secret identity, revealing that he is Richard Grayson. And in this video, we'll see the consequences of those actions. We begin in Wayne Manor with Alfred. He asks if it really was that long ago. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. It's a shame, good lord, but he has to go down to the Batcave. Once he's in the elevator, it gets stuck. They've lost too many already, Damian and Dick. This has been enough. But since the elevator got stuck and he was going down with a bit of tea, he'll have to apologize to Master Bruce. But it seems the elevator is malfunctioning. The door just won't open. Bruce tells Alfred that the cave is having some issues. They've also lost the cameras. He's working on it. If Alfred can't open the door, then he asks him to go back up to the manor. Soon everything will be fine. Alfred apologizes in advance, but he has to ask, is everything all right with young Richard? With the boy's death? Well, is Bruce okay? Batman tells him he wasn't a boy, and that he's fixing all of this, but Alfred has to go back to the manor. Dick was never a boy, and Alfred tells him that's fine. Of course he never was. Later, in the Batcave, Batman asks someone how many times they've done this, how many rules he's taught him, where to fight, how to fight. They've done this many times, they've had many rules. They need to do it again, the two of them. He needs to know if they broke him. He needs to know if he still has the heart he once had. He has to know it, and that's why they're going to fight one more time. But now there's only one rule. Nightwing, Dick Grayson, has to win this fight. Father and son, Bruce and Dick, get ready to fight. Batman versus Nightwing. The first to attack is Batman, but Dick dodges him with no problem. He allowed the crime syndicate to capture him. He allowed them to torture him. He allowed them to reveal his secrets to the whole world. Dick blames Bruce. Batman wasn't there when he needed him. Bruce keeps up his attack. He allowed them to turn him into a bomb. He allowed them to kill him. That was before Luthor saved him. He allowed everyone to see him die. Dick tells him he was trying to save people. Up to this point, Batman hasn't managed to land a hit, but after several attempts he connects with a hard elbow. He trained him to live, but instead of that he watched him die. After that, he needs to know if Dick can come back, if he's strong enough for what's coming next. Dick is on the ground, and he asks Bruce what this is all about. Bruce answers with a hard kick. He needs to know if Dick is strong enough to make the sacrifices they will always have to make. The kick is so hard that Nightwing crashes through a glass panel. Batman has a mission for him. He needs him to do something that will hurt his friends, his family. Dick doesn't understand. What the hell is going on? Batman tells him that everyone thinks he's dead. He needs him to stay dead. Batman tells him that everyone thinks he's dead. He needs him to remain that way, dead. Dick tells him no and kicks him in the abdomen. Then he grabs Robin's cape and starts choking him with it. To Bruce, this is fine. He has to fight. Fight like a man who cannot be captured, who cannot be killed. Fight like he's alive. Nightwing, using the same cape, slams him into the floor. Batman starts to suffer, but recovers and attacks him from behind. Spyral, the espionage group. Dick tells him no, he won't do it. He can't pretend to be dead. He can't do any of this. Batman tells him that they fight the usual evil all over the world. Dick asks about Tim. Batman says, terrorists, killers, the cowardly, and the superstitious. Dick now asks about Jason. Many people face that fight every day, but then it falls to Alfred and to Barbara. For Batman, Spyral is still the best option. He knows they're the best because it took him a long time to figure out what they were doing behind it all. Both of them give and take many blows. Blood starts to spill from their bodies. Nightwing keeps refusing. Batman goes on. They're hunting masked heroes. Dick tells him they're his family, but Batman is very clear about it. They want to know their identities. Batman kicks him in the back. Nightwing tells him that if he's dead, if they think he's dead, what will happen to Damian afterward? Batman cannot allow their secrets to be revealed to those who hate them and those who love them. Dick tells him they're a family to him, and he can't do that to them. He just can't. But that's exactly why Batman has this mission for him. They're trying to learn who they really are, who they pretend to be. They can't allow that. Nightwing cannot allow that. Dick doesn't want to die. He's alive. He's really alive. They're both on top of a crane when suddenly Nightwing throws himself at Batman, and the two of them fall onto a Batmobile. The impact is brutal. They're both bleeding more and more. Batman tells him that if the enemies learn their secrets, they won't be able to fight. Dick asks him how he can ask him to do this. Batman answers with another question. Does he know how many people are going to die if they're not able to fight? And he is asking all of this of Nightwing because they need a man on the inside. Someone finding out what Spyral knows, what Spyral wants to know. They need that. They need Dick Grayson. They'll come for him now. They'll want someone like him, someone off the board who knows their secrets. If he isn't dead, they'll come for him, a masked man without a mask. Nightwing, lying on the ground, asks how, after everything that happened, he can put him in this situation. Batman answers with the following. Why do we fall, Dick? We fall so we can learn to pick ourselves back up. Nightwing tells him no, that's not true. We fall because someone pushes us, and we get back up so we can push them back. From here on out, nothing will ever be the same. Batman tries to punch him, but Nightwing blocks it easily. The Bat knows the other heroes. He knows them all. He'd like them to do this, but they can't. They would fight. Of course they would. But in the end they would give up, they would surrender, and Spyral would use them to get to the rest of them. Dick tells him that after this, after what Bruce is asking of him, things between them will never be the same. Batman knows that. He's hurting him and his family. He's making that sacrifice. He doesn't give up, and he doesn't surrender. But what about Nightwing? Is he like them, or is Batman the one who's like them? After the crime syndicate captured him, tortured him, and killed him, Dick has to ask, after everything that happened, will he give up? Will he surrender? Nightwing is going to answer, not with words, but with a hard punch to Batman's face. He's not a kid anymore. Batman is on the ground, badly hurt. This has gone far enough. Dick tells him no and sits down next to him. It's never enough. One rule. He wins. Batman tells him that's fine, he's won. Meanwhile, we see the Batcave in ruins. After a while, the elevator starts working again. Alfred asks Bruce what happened. Bruce tells him he's fine. He did what was necessary. He fixed everything. Sometime later, we see Dick Grayson fighting. Who am I? I've been many things. I was a son. I was an artist, an acrobat, a member of Halley's circus, part of a family, part of a legacy. Then Tony Zuko appeared, my parents' killer, and I was left alone. I was angry, a sad and angry kid looking for revenge, any revenge. That's when Bruce Wayne appeared. He found me, and I wasn't alone anymore. I was his ward, I was a kid again. He trained me, he focused me, and I was Robin, a partner, a hero, Batman's partner, the Dark Knight of Gotham City. I was part of a family again, Batgirl, Commissioner James Gordon and Alfred. I kept growing. I became a hero in my own right. I was Nightwing. I was a teacher, a mentor to Jason, Tim, and Damian. Eventually, when it was necessary, I was Batman. I was part of a legacy again. Then the crime syndicate arrived. They put a noose around my neck, and I was alone again. I was tortured. I was exposed in front of the cameras. I was unmasked. I was a toy. They strapped me to a machine. I was their weapon, a bomb. Lex Luthor stopped my heart. He killed me to save the world. I was dead, or so it seemed. I was saved in secret. Who am I? After all that, I wanted to go back to normal. I wanted to be who I had been. A son, part of a family, of a legacy, Robin, Nightwing, and Batman. I wanted things to go back to normal, but I've realized I can't. Something terrible is coming, and I have to stop it. My enemy is in front of me, and I am alone. So then who am I? Well, my name is Dick Grayson, and I am whoever you need me to be. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.